Let's get on to Super Rugby very quickly before we get on to everything else. The Ashley and Martin Medical Hair Centre's turning point. Let's start with the Chiefs. They've gone to the top of the table after going down to Christchurch and just doing a second half job on the Crusaders. What a turning point.
Oh, massive. I mean, I think, we're obviously big fans of Sean Stevenson. I think he played a crucial role. He did the 50-22, which they, made the most of, got the points. But then his rush defence to close on Havili, which forced the error for Leroy Carter to go the distance. That's a big play because Havili's the sort of person that can get that ball away to free up the outside or get the kick away as he was trying to do. But they committed to that defensive structure and it paid dividends, and you almost felt like the momentum was just all with the Chiefs, but a little bit of a confidence ding for the Crusaders, and they just couldn't sort of fight their way back.
Brenner, what did you see change in that second half?
They just squeezed the Crusaders. I think Damien McKenzie and Sean Stevenson's kicking game in terms of being able to kick long and have contestables and have that kind of balance. Like in the first half, they kicked, for 253 metres. In the second half, 630 with 17 kicks. So I think the way that they were able to kick down the field, being able to get 50-22s, put the ball in behind them, and I guess the Crusaders weren't able to get out of their half through that. And look, I think in the first half they had 10 unforced errors and, they weren't efficient with the ball that they did have. They made a lot of mistakes. They had position, they had territory, but the Crusaders with, 4 entries into the 22, scored 3 times, had very limited ball and were operating at a high percentage with their tackle percentage. They were able to be in front. But I think the 2 tries just after halftime, Jip touched on the 2 points with Sean Stevenson, and I think their kicking game, the way Damien, the way Sean, even Cortez at Aotearoa with his contestables, they controlled the game and squeezed the Crusaders. And then I think, look, the way they finished their game, Wallace Atiti's try, I think that was the nail in the coffin. I think more so that'd be a pleasing thing for Clayton McMillan in that moment in the game. They were able to, I guess, go through them and go into 18th phase and I guess just brutally, physically dominate them in the later passages of that game. So, yeah, that second half, it was a clinic. And I think if you're the Crusaders, you'll be having a hard look at yourself in terms of what that 40 minutes looked like, because it was an absolute clinic from how the Chiefs were able to execute in that second half and win the game.
You can't underestimate their decisions to take the 3 points. So, because I think the 2 tries were a bang, bang, and you sort of can feel that anxiety. But then to get another 6 points, and that's where errors start to come because you start forcing, you start chasing, and that scoreboard pressure. So I think the way they made their decisions in that second half, whether it was their kicking game or what they did from penalties, was massive. But I think the Crusaders will look at it, and 12 penalties for them is relatively high for this season. They haven't given that many penalties away. When you look at the Chiefs, they really tightened things. They only had 6 for the whole 80 and barely any in that second half. So you got to commend the captaincy and I suppose the coaching group of what they said at that half time. But I felt going for that scoreboard pressure and actually kicking those goals were just as important as those 2 tries in terms of forcing the Crusaders into that desperation mode and trying to play from everywhere.